From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Tuesday morning. We look mostly dry in the region for now, although there are some very light snow showers up in the Cascades. This is going to pick up a little bit later this morning. The winds also going to pick up a little bit later today. We're expecting them to gust out of the southwest between 20 to 45 miles per hour. For now, gusting between mostly 25 to 30 miles per hour for US 97 and for US Highway 12. Temperatures down mostly into the 30s and 40s this morning, around freezing in the Kittitas Valley. Could be a little bit frosty to start off there, but we're just a bit too warm for that in the Yakima Valley and the lower Columbia Basin and in the Blue Foothills. But up in the Cascades, 20s and 30s, 30s also up in the Blues, so could be a little frosty up that way. Here's your umbrella cast for today for the Tri-Cities. We're going to start off this morning dry, but around and after lunchtime, that's when we'll have these little shower chances throughout the rest of the day and deep into the evening. So for today, high temperatures getting into the 60s, 50s and 60s for lower elevations. Seasonal showers and thunderstorms likely, but we're going to be pretty dry for Wednesday and beyond. Temperatures going up and down. I'll show you how they fluctuate coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, Pasco marking a milestone in aviation history, what the city is known for doing before anyone else in the country and how they're celebrating today.
Also an aviation mishap after a small plane lands in the water a few feet from the runway in Oregon. What we know so far about the incident.
Plus, time's running out to file your taxes. We have what you need to know before you get them done prior to that deadline. It's all on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Tuesday, April 8th, and we want to get right to your news this morning, taking you to Monday afternoon. That's where police responded to the report of a man unconscious in a white Chevy Trailblazer on Sanford Avenue. When they got to that car, they found him unconscious, and they found that the rear plate on the car was actually stolen. Officers approaching the suspect, that's when he woke up. He fled the scene. He started driving over sticks. It became a very dangerous chase through red lights, and that's when authorities implemented a pit maneuver. And
the driver resisted arrest and attempted to smoke what was suspected to be fentanyl. He was treated at a local hospital and booked into Benton County Jail. Now to more crime news, 2 teens are behind bars while another is in the hospital after a fiery crash. Officials say just after midnight yesterday, a Kittitas County deputy saw a car on East University Way near Chestnut Street without the lights on. When the deputy tried to pull the car over, it crashed into a pole and burst into flames. Officials say 2 teen boys took off running and a 15-year-old girl was hurt inside the car. She was taken to the hospital with serious injuries, and with the help of a drone and Ellensburg police officers, officials found the 2 boys, and they say further investigation showed that the car was stolen. They booked the 2 boys, the 15 and 16-year-olds, into the Yakima Juvenile Corrections Facility, where they face numerous charges, including theft of a motor vehicle.
Well, Milton Free Water Police are releasing some details about a recent shooting. Here's what they're telling us. They say on April 2nd, around 7:30 in the evening, officers responded to the area of 125 Northeast 2nd for reports of gunshots. Well, that's where they found a 46-year-old woman who had allegedly fired some shots near the caller, who was 35-year-old Alan Davis. Police say the shots were fired near him and not directly at him, and there weren't any injuries. But then just on Friday, detectives did take that woman into custody on charges of unlawful use of a weapon and disorderly conduct, and she's now sitting in the Umatilla County Jail.
Now to Oregon, where a small plane skidded off the runway and landed in the water. This happening at the Southwest Regional Airport in North Bend early yesterday morning. Officials say it was a private plane and came to rest in the water about 100 feet off the east end of that runway. This all happened just before 6:15, and emergency crews, including the rescue and firefighter teams, secured the aircraft.
The pilot was able to take evasive action to avoid a critically important air navigational tool at the end of the runway. And that is one of the buildings that's just outside of the safety area.
All 4 passengers and 1 crew member were rescued and taken to the hospital, and we're working to learn more about their current conditions.
And speaking of planes, Boeing has settled 2 cases ahead of the first civil trial related to the deadly Boeing MAX 737 MAX crashes. It's all according to a law firm representing one of the passengers who died aboard the Ethiopian Airlines Flight 302 crash back in 2019. Now, the trial was scheduled to take place in a federal courthouse with jury selection stated to begin yesterday, and it was expected to last about 2 weeks. The focus of the case was on determining fair and reasonable compensation for the families of crash victims, and officials say that the terms of the settlements are confidential.
All right, check this out now. A major milestone in aviation history that happened right here in the Tri-Cities is marking the occasion by preparing for a flight once again.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. The Commercial Aviation Centennial Committee is a group of local volunteers, and they're launching a year-long celebration for the 100th anniversary of the first commercial airmail flight in the U.S., which started right here in the Tri-Cities, flying out of Pasco on April 6th, 1926. Pasco Mayor Pete Sereno spoke about how the flight continues to shape the city's identity and growth, and connecting Pasco's past to its future.
That cowboy spirit, that really old West. I mean, and that's what founded Pasco. You know, we got the railways that brought us here, and then we launched commercial aviation out of here. I mean, what an exciting place to be. And again, for me, I look forward to, okay, how do we continue that spirit for our kids and our kids' kids so that we have the next thing launching out of Pasco.
To learn more about the historic event, the Pasco Aviation Museum has a special exhibit going on now for a year, and you can check it out at the museum right now. And to see more on the history of the flight, head to our website. That's applevalley.newsnow.com.
6:06 and still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We're talking taxes, that deadline fast approaching. If you haven't filed yet, you're not alone, as fewer Americans have filed this year than in previous years.
But first, our Josh Colbert will have your first alert weather forecast. Keep it here. We will be right back.
If you have heart failure or chronic kidney disease, Farxiga can help you keep living life, because there are places you'd like to be. Serious side effects include increased ketones in blood or urine and bacterial infection between the anus and genitals, both which may be fatal. Severe allergic reactions, dehydration, urinary tract or genital yeast infections, and low blood sugar. Stop taking and tell your doctor right away if you have nausea, vomiting, stomach pain, tiredness, rash, swelling, trouble breathing or swallowing. Tell your doctor about lightheadedness, weakness, fever, pain, tenderness, redness or swelling between the anus and genitals. Ask your doctor about Farxiga today.
Step into a whimsical world of fun. Join Alice and Journey into the $185,000 prize land at Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Anything is possible with $16,000 in cash and prizes every Friday and Saturday. And the magical wins continue with a chance to multiply your prize up to $4,000 cash. Step into a whimsical world of fun. Wild Horse Resort and Casino. Celebrate 3 decades of fun.
Regain your quality of life with expert spine care at Prosser Memorial Health. Neurological spine surgeon Dr. David Yam, with over 20 years of experience, specializes in comprehensive spine care, minimally invasive surgery, and disc replacement. Dr. Yam is now seeing patients at our new Spine Center locations in Prosser and Walla Walla. Call 509-786-5599 today to schedule your appointment. New, returning, and second opinion patients welcome. The new Spine Center at Prosser Memorial Health. This is how we care. Are you suffering with foot pain? Prosser Orthopedic Center podiatrist Dr. Jared Clifford is board certified and now accepting new patients. His services include arthroscopic ankle surgery, foot and ankle fractures, heel pain, diabetic foot care, and more. To schedule an appointment with Dr. Clifford or learn more about podiatry services at Prosser Orthopedic Center, call 509-786-5599 or visit prosserhealth.org.
Lather, rinse, repeat. It never feels like enough. It's not your products, it's your water. Culligan water softeners prevent damaging hard water buildup, revitalizing your hair and skin. Upgrade your routine with Culligan.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbert.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take a tour of this morning's temperatures, starting off in Kittitas County, where we are right around freezing for Ellensburg, Cle Elum, and Snoqualmie Pass, but in Vantage, which is more of a basin environment, we're down into the low 40s. In the Yakima Valley, we're spanning 37 to 40 degrees, 40 for Union Gap, 37 for Sealand, 39 for Sunnyside, and then in the lower Columbia Basin, mostly 40s, technically in the upper 30s for Connell and Boardman, but 46 degrees this morning in the Tri-Cities. And then for the Blue Foothills, a mixture of mid-30s to mid-40s, but down into the low to mid-30s in the higher terrain of the Blue Mountains. Here is your day planner for today for lower elevations. We'll have increasing chances of showers and thunderstorms as we head deeper into the day, especially for the basin and for the foothills, but we'll have decent chances in the valleys as well. So for today, seasonal high temperatures, winds gusting out of the south and west between 20 to 45 miles per hour, the fastest winds being in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County and also in the Cascades, and also showers and thunderstorms, like I mentioned, going to be widespread across the map. Then for tonight, where we do have the tendency to see leftover showers and thunderstorms, that would be in the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains and also in the Cascades. Winds still gusting out of the south and west, but they're going to be much calmer after 8 p.m. Overnight lows dropping down into the 30s and 40s. I'll time all of this out with Futurecast. I'll tell you how much rain, how much snow we're expecting, and also we're tracking another storm system for later this week into Friday and Saturday. I'll tell you about that one coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 10 minutes after 6 now, and in your national headlines, tax day is right around the corner, April 15th. And ahead of that deadline, fewer Americans actually filed their federal taxes at this point in the filing season compared to last year. Also, more people have requested extensions. That's according to private IRS numbers and the latest public data. As of March 21st, the IRS had received nearly 1 million fewer tax returns than it had gotten in the same period last year. Experts say the drop by itself isn't necessarily a concern. It's also not unusual, but this year's drop comes amid concerns about possible declines in revenue collection. There are also concerns including disruptive leadership changes and internal conflicts with Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency. All right, still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Coming up, we check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth, and he'll break down your forecast and what you can expect as we continue to make our way through the week in your first alert forecast, and giving you that live look outside this morning at Richland's Columbia Point from our Legends Casino and Hotel Skycam. Absolutely beautiful start to our day as the sun starts to come up. It's 12 minutes after 6. We'll be right back.
I felt like there was just no answers to get out of the anxiety and the depression that I had.
I was suicidal all the time, thinking about it nonstop, every day, every moment.
Depression and anxiety rob millions of us of our day-to-day lives, but nothing seems to pull you out of it. Introducing NeuroStim TMS, Washington's leading provider of transcranial magnetic stimulation, or TMS therapy. At NeuroStim TMS, we treat the root of the problem with a series of short daily treatments. Using a non-invasive magnetic field, TMS activates the natural function of the brain's neurotransmitters to improve mood and regulate emotion. TMS is not shock therapy. It's an FDA-approved, easy outpatient experience and covered by all major medical insurances.
There's nothing better than just being able to enjoy life again.
The treatment just completely, fundamentally changed my life.
Visit neurostimtms.com today or call to schedule your free consultation at any of our 12 Washington state locations.
For 60 years, Woods Nursery has been inspiring families to create beautiful, joyful gardens in our community. Spanning 5 acres, it's one of the largest nurseries in southeastern Washington, offering a vast selection of plants, trees, and flowers, all grown in the USA. Explore handcrafted ornamental pieces made by American artisans, and get expert guidance from 3 generations of the Wood family, dedicated to helping you design stunning landscapes. Visit us today and discover everything you need to bring your outdoor space to life.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
Austin Reed is a television news leader with a passion for unique stories that have affected positive change for more than 20 years.
Get the best local news coverage every day, right here.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacey Lee, Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Take a look at this.
Maybe we can roll the tape.
Or not.
Next live, Bradley Whitford from The Handmaid's Tale, plus Walton Goggins.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
Kraken, Utah, tonight on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and step you through the rest of today's forecast with Futurecast radar. This morning, we're expecting another round of rain and of course, some snow up in the Cascades. Now, by the late morning, that starts to make it down into the valleys, and then around and after midday, that's when we'll have widespread showers and thunderstorms on the map, pretty scattered in nature. As we head into the evening, looks like this is mainly going to be relegated to the Blue Foothills, the Blue Mountains, and also up into the Cascades. And by the time we're into the late evening, we're just going to see that little trickle as this storm system is going to peter out. And we'll have a mostly dry day for Wednesday and for Thursday as well. But we're tracking another storm system after that. More on that in a second. First, here are some of the snowfall totals we're expecting over the next 24 hours. Not much doing at all. Maybe a couple of inches for a Cascade passes, maybe up to an inch for a Blue Mountain passes. Now, if you took into account the melted snowfall and some of the rainfall totals, we're thinking half an inch for the Cascades, less than a tenth of an inch for the valleys, basin, and foothills, and around a quarter of an inch up in the Blue Mountains. Wind's going to be a big factor once again for today, just like with yesterday. They'll be racing out of the south and west upwards of 45 miles per hour in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County, and also for US 97. The peak time frame for today for the peak wind gusts would be 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Like I mentioned, mostly dry for Wednesday and Thursday, then that next little impulse for Friday and Saturday. This storm system not looking that impressive at all. Maybe a couple more inches for a Cascade or Blue Mountain passes. And then in terms of melted snowfall and rainfall, not much doing at all for much of the region, maybe upwards of 0.2 inches of that for Cabbage Hill and Tollgate. So again, not a very impressive storm system at all. High temperatures fluctuating over the next 7 days. The peak is going to be, at least in the Tri-Cities, the peak's going to be on Thursday with highs in the low 70s, but we'll struggle to make it out of the 50s on Saturday. And in that analogy, I guess that would be the valley. Okay, here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Showers and storms likely today, then dry after that with fluctuating high temperatures. Breezes pick up on Friday and Saturday. In Yakima, a 50-50 chance of showers and storms today, then a dry forecast with a breezy stretch from Thursday through Sunday. In Ellensburg, rain and thunderstorms likely today, dry beyond that with winds becoming a big factor on Friday and Saturday. Then in Hermiston, showers and storms likely today, a dry forecast after that with up and down high temperatures. And then for Walla Walla, rain and storms likely today, dry Wednesday and Thursday, but small shower chances come back around Friday through Sunday. Now you're taking a live look at the Columbia River. This view coming courtesy of the Legends Casino and Hotel. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
Our number one service here at NIU Women's Clinic and Aesthetics is our weight loss program. Our program is really focused on a lifestyle change. We want our patients to be able to lose around 10 to 15 pounds of weight loss a month is what we see. But when they're done with us on the program, we want them to be able to keep that weight off. We don't want to see them yo-yo.
So I've lost about 40 to 50 pounds, and that's been over the span of 3 to 4 months. At my peak, I think I was losing probably 10 pounds a week. It was quite a bit, and I just noticed it was falling off of me.
So we are proud to announce that we are releasing a virtual weight loss program. What makes our program so successful for both men and women is the fact that we are treating exactly the reason why you're gaining this weight in the first place. By addressing your insulin insensitivity, your hormone balancing, your lifestyle, treating everything. We really focus on you and your needs.
Now open in Yakima. Go to newuwomensclinic.com to start your weight loss journey today.
Attention former Hanford workers and contractors. You deserve the benefits and care you've earned. You may qualify for benefits including life-changing in-home health care. Join United Energy Workers Healthcare for a free Atomic Family Reunion at the Three Rivers Convention Center in Kennewick on Friday, April 11th. Reconnect, enjoy great food, and learn about exclusive benefits to help you live longer, better, and independently at home. RSVP by calling 509-286-2661 or visit uewhealth.com.
Attention Kennewick Irrigation District customers. Due to worsening drought conditions in Washington state, we recommend that you prepare landscaping needs now, for restrictions will likely occur later. Use voluntary watering schedule to ease your lawn into future restriction. Use drip and hose irrigation to focus water where it's needed. Your water conservation efforts today will directly impact the availability of water throughout the irrigation season. Remember, every drop counts. For more information, visit KID.org and click the Drought Information button.
Hey Ham Fam! Easter is April 20th, and when your family gathers this season, spend less time in the kitchen and more time with your loved ones. At Honey Baked Ham, we have everything your gathering needs, starting with our fully cooked spiral cut ham, dripping with our famous mouth-watering glaze. Add a smoked or oven-roasted turkey breast, delicious sides and desserts. Your complete feast is waiting for you at Honey Baked Ham. Order online or give us a call. Honey Baked Ham, helping you make the most of your time with family.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. In your entertainment news this morning, we are looking at a new documentary that is headed to theaters this week.
And it's a documentary on the lives of John Lennon and Yoko Ono.
Rick Damigella has the sneak peek. Take a look.
One to One, John and Yoko provides a look into the lives of the four.
Attica stay, we're all mates with Attica stay.
A lot of the film is this concert that John gave with Yoko in 1972, the one-to-one using audio recordings of them, which they did themselves, of all their phone calls at exactly this period, home movie footage. Incredibly funny in this film. All these audio recordings, you just get his amazing wit and his sharpness, which is incredible. And it's moving because it's really the story of how he's struggling with life after the Beatles. What do you become? What do you do after you've been in the biggest band of all time?
I've forgotten the rest. Okay, shall we start?
In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Oh, a lot of people, I'm sure, are very excited to see that.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited for the biopic with the cast members that were revealed last week. Their first picture looks really good.
I know, that'll be exciting. All right, more entertainment news this morning. We're talking Crumble Cookies, and they are partnering with who else? The Kardashian-Jenner family for a menu takeover.
I'm excited for this.
They do everything.
Yeah.
From makeup to cookies.
Yeah.
And everything in between.
Exactly. So the dessert franchise is offering 6 sweets in their honor this week through April 12th, and this is for each sister. So you can get the oldest, Kourtney Kardashian's flourless chocolate cake, and Bible, it's gluten-friendly. I can't do a Kourtney impression.
No.
And they always say Bible.
Always.
Well, you could choose the mom, Chris's classic yellow layer cake. There's also Kim's snickerdoodle crumb cake cookie.
Ooh. And there's Kylie's pink confetti sugar cookie, Kendall's cookie dough cupcake cookie.
And lastly, Chloe's is a cookies and cream skillet cookie. I think that would be my favorite one.
That'd be your
love
jam?
Cookies and cream, yeah. What about you guys?
Out of that list, I like a good snickerdoodle.
Okay.
I'd have to see the list again, but I'm a big fan of cookies and cream.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. And classic chocolate chip.
Always.
Yeah.
All right, still much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. This is National Library Week, and today is National Library Workers Day.
And speaking of library workers, we hear from one Mid-Columbia employee who tells us what they're challenging the community to do this week, with the details in your next half hour.
At US Cellular, we're celebrating our customers, like JP here. It's a special event. Us days.
Yeah, we get special rewards and exclusive deals, and it's only for US Cellular customers. It's like we got our own special club.
Should we show them?
Us Days at US Cellular. Right now, our customers can get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet.
Walla Walla Sweets Baseball has been a beacon of our community's spirit for 14 seasons. But behind every swing and every catch lies the question, where do our players call home during the season? The answer is simple. With you, our incredible host families. It's more than just housing a player. It's about becoming part of their journey. Watching our boys chase their dreams is incredibly rewarding. Become a host family and be part of something bigger than the game. Together, we are Walla Walla Sweets.
To keep your home cool and comfortable all summer, your air conditioner needs maintenance this spring. Vance will inspect, test, and clean your AC so it's ready for hot weather. We'll leave your AC in better condition than we found it, and you'll be happy. Call now to schedule your maintenance appointment. It's the thing to do every spring. Don't take a chance. Call Vance.
The Working Families Tax Credit isn't just for families. Individuals and couples can apply too. See if you or your family are eligible for this tax refund at workingfamiliescredit.wad.gov/eligibility.
At Denver Mattress, comfort comes easy, but peace of mind is a bit tricky. And no, we can't give you a bedside psychoanalyst. Beat it, Sigmund. But you can rest easy knowing every mattress is backed by our 365-night Better Sleep guarantee. And during the spring clearance sale, find huge savings on clearance throughout the store, like up to 50% off select Sealy hybrid mattresses. Or score 48 months no interest and free shipping. Comfort, peace of mind, and a great night's sleep. Only at Denver Mattress.
At Fred's, discover the largest selection of in-stock, get-it-today inventory in our region. Introducing the new Electrolux 700 Series Alpine Green Washer and Dryer, the industry exclusive 2 ways to sanitize. Remove bacteria and sanitize your way with the Cold Sanitize option, paired with Lysol Laundry Sanitizer, or use the NSF Certified Hot Sanitize setting, the most efficient washer on the market. We sell appliances, only appliances.
Win or save on Lucky Number Tuesday at Buy-Mart. This week you can win great prizes from Nintendo, Skill, and more. Plus you can buy them with Tuesday-only pricing. Win or save on Lucky Number Tuesday only at Buy-Mart since 1955.
Kraken, Utah, tonight on Apple Valley News Now. This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest, on your side.
Good Tuesday morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbreth.
All right, Cash with Colbreth. How much money are we talking so far?
We're talking $175 now. So today's a critical day, so we can get it up to $200, and then we'll be, closer to my ultimate goal of $500. Yeah. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our 3-degree guarantee, sponsored by our friends at the Legends Casino and Hotel. Yesterday, I went with a forecast high of 67 in Pasco Tri-Cities and a verified at 68. So, yes, the jackpot did go up to $175. So here are the stakes for today. I'm going with a forecast high of 65 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 62 to 68, the jackpot's going to go up to $200. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to AppleValleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that's on your screen. All right, now what's on your screen is First Alert Radar, as we are seeing some very light snow showers up in the Cascades. This is going to pick up a little bit later this morning. Also, the winds are going to pick up, but for now, they're gusting between 20 to 30 miles per hour for US 97 and also for US Highway 12. Temperatures are around freezing this morning in the Kittitas Valley. That's where it could be a little bit frosty. The same thing up in the Cascades and in the Blues, as those temperatures are also around freezing, but just a little bit too warm for that in the Yakima Valley, in the lower Columbia Basin, and in the Blue Foothills, as temperatures there mostly in the 30s and 40s. Here's your hour-by-hour forecast for today for the Tri-Cities. Highs are going to get up into the 60s, and around and after lunchtime, that's when we're going to have our best chances of showers and thunderstorms, and that'll last until around 8, 9 o'clock this evening. So for today, for lower elevations, highs getting into the 50s and 60s, pretty seasonal. We're going to have showers and thunderstorms likely across the map, and to underscore that, I'll take you on that zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. That's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. We continue your news this morning with some continuing coverage. Tri-Cities community coming together to mourn the loss of 20-year-old Hosier Sanchez. That's the motorcyclist killed after a crash involving an off-duty Washington State Patrol trooper, Sarah Clayson. The memorial ride, as you see here, brought out a large crowd on Sunday. It started at 2:30 with people meeting up at the New Vintage Church in Tri-Cities. The route included several stops throughout the area, eventually making a stop at the scene of the crash near Parkway Village in Richland. That's where organizers planted a cross in memory of Hosier. Flowers were also planted by his family, and they say they're still in the process of making funeral arrangements, and will share more details in the coming days.
In Yakima now, Washington has 2 residential rehab centers which provide 24-hour care to those who have severe developmental and intellectual disabilities. One is in Buckley and the other one is in Selah. The state legislature is deciding whether they'll close, which leaves residents questioning where they'll go and what will happen to them. Our Nicole Stewart has the details.
June 30th could be the closing day of 2 residential rehabilitation centers located in Selah and Buckley. Residents would be relocated by the Department of Social and Health Services, but critics warn that some residents have no backup plan, leading to increased homelessness, trauma, and even death. With over 100 residents between the 2 facilities, where there are waiting lists and some have called these places home for decades, there is little clarity on what the transition plan would look like. Patrick Sergi, Director of Communications at the Washington Federation of State Employees, addresses HB 1472, along with companion bill SB 5393.
Great. Why don't we find every single person that's currently under the state's care at Yakima Valley School and Rainier School? Let's find them all placement first. Show us where they're going to go. And then you can move ahead and close this place.
As a place of last resort for some residents, Sergi says the state's approach does not answer a vital question. Where will residents go?
It's like you're taking away a support without having something to put in its place. So it's really kind of a shoot first, ask questions later kind of approach.
As many families take on the role of caretaker, not all residents have that support system, and those that could may be faced with aging caretakers. Sugri says the centers keep people alive and fed.
Severe developmental and intellectual disabilities. Once you talk to some of the people that work there, they can give you a better idea.
As the state sees a cost-saving pathway, some citizens worry about the fallout.
Look at Nacelle, look at JRA. This is being penny wise, pound foolish, so to speak. And then the final thing I see that minute went really fast. I keep hearing people talk about the community. I'm all down with the community, but the reality is we do not have the infrastructure in this state right now to deal with folks who have complex medical and behavioral needs. Again, I'm speaking as my experience from Western State Hospital. If we started building that infrastructure today, we'd be lucky to have it up and running in a decade. Let's just be real about that.
These risks will have protesters rallying on Thursday to save Yakima Valley School. Nicole Stewart, Apple Valley News Now.
Thank you, Nicole. Now, an executive session for House Bill 1472 is scheduled in the House Committee on Appropriations for today at 1:30 p.m. and we'll keep you updated on what happens.
6:33 and taking you to Oregon now, where the Confederated Tribes of the Umatilla Indian Reservation recently received a grant to help ensure children on the reservation become proficient readers as they enter school. The tribe got $150,000 from the Meyer Memorial Trust. That's a private fund committed to racial, social, and economic justice in Oregon. The money will help develop and implement culturally relevant and age-appropriate reading materials for the kids. Officials hope to start up this new program in mid-April, with the grant ending May 26th. And speaking of reading, it is National Library Week, an annual celebration highlighting the valuable role that libraries, librarians, and library workers all play in transforming the lives and strengthening our communities. Now, the Mid-Columbia Library locations have a very busy week ahead of them. Just yesterday was Right to Read Day. Today, National Library Workers Day. Wednesday, National Library Outreach Day, which is a day dedicated to library professionals. And on Thursday, April 10th, is Take Action for Libraries Day.
Well, we've actually got something really cool going right now to go in concert with the National Library Week, which is our checkout challenge. So for the first time, we're asking everybody to help us beat our checkouts with 45,000 checkouts for the week. And we're off to a really strong start yesterday. And so if you want to come in and check out a book, and you can see on social media what the results are of that challenge, or stop by a branch and ask us where we're at.
In Mid-Columbia, libraries have 12 branches and they service more than 260,000 residents of Benton, Franklin, and parts of Adams counties.
Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, we check back in with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth. He'll break down your forecast, what you can expect as we make our way through the week, giving you that beautiful live look outside this morning from our Yakima Federal Cam right here at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. The wind farms along the hillside there. 6:35, we're back after the break.
You just a spoonful of sugar.
Young Sheldon, tonight at 11:05, Apple Valley News Now.
In 1997, my father-in-law, John Ramsey, started this business.
We took it from 2.5 acres. Now we're 22 acres.
What separates us is you're not just a number when you walk in the door.
Professional, on time. They answer all my questions.
If you're looking for a high-quality trailer at the right price, this is the place.
It feels like a home away from home.
I can guarantee when you buy an RV from us, you are part of the Broadmoor family.
At Broadmoor RV, we make camping fun!
The average family throws out $3,000 of food every year. That's a lot. Imagine what you could do with extra cash. There are simple ways to reduce your food waste and increase your savings. It starts with a plan and ends with a little creativity. Like turning your unused food into something new. Get tips to reduce food waste and make your dollar go further. Know the cost. Use food well. Visit the website to learn how.
Which automaker employs the most hourly workers in the country? Ford. Which automaker assembles the most vehicles in the country? Ford. That's not a coincidence. It's a commitment. A commitment Ford dealers share by offering employee pricing across a full lineup of Ford vehicles.
Now get employee pricing available across a full lineup of Ford trucks and SUVs. Employee pricing, you pay what we pay. Only from your local Ford dealer.
What have we got?
The Andersons. All night, tossing and turning, bad backs, sleep score at an all-time low.
Round up the team. At Denver Mattress, going undercover is literally how we solve problems. And we find sleepers waking up with aches and pains. We turn to the Tempur-Pedic Adapt, designed for ultimate pressure relief that uniquely adapts to your body's pressure points. The Tempur Adapt features innovative technology, so you get deep, undisturbed rest all night long. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right Tempur-Pedic.
It's the 3-degree guarantee from Apple Valley News Now First Alert Weather and Legends Casino Hotel. When Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth gets the high within 3 degrees, $25 is put in the jackpot. If he misses, someone wins. From Legends Casino Hotel and Apple Valley News Now.
The mountains await. For the first time ever, the Kraken arrive in Salt Lake City. Can Seattle stay unbeaten against the league's newest club? Kraken, Utah, tonight on Apple Valley News Now. Wendy Redman is a leader in broadcast news. She breaks big stories, produces special reports that make a difference, and brings the news home each evening.
It's sometimes dramatic, but always informative.
Wendy Redman, Austin Reed, Stacey Lee, Apple Valley News Now, on your side.
Take a look at this.
Maybe we can roll the tape.
Or not.
Next live, Bradley Whitford from The Handmaid's Tale, plus Walton Goggins.
Today at 9 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County, where these high temperatures are going to span from the mid-40s up in the highest terrain of the Cascades to the low 60s in Vantage, which is more of a basin climate. The breeze is going to be out of the south and west, upwards of 45 miles per hour in the Cascades. The valley walls of the Kittitas Valley will shield that valley from the strongest of the wind gusts, but it's still going to be breezy there. In the Yakima Valley, these highs around 60 degrees, winds gusting out of the south and west, upwards of 35 miles per hour. By the way, across the map for today, showers and thunderstorms are going to be likely. In the lower Columbia Basin, these winds out of the south and west are around 40 miles per hour. These highs in the low to mid 60s. I'm going with the forecast high of 65 in the Tri-Cities. And then in the Blue Foothills, we'll also end up mostly in the low to mid 60s. Low to mid 50s in the Blue Mountains, and these winds also out of the south and west around 45 miles per hour. The strongest winds being in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County. Now on to the big picture, the seasonal snowfall deficits and surpluses we're tracking for all of our major basins within the region. And you can see one of these is not like the other. In the upper Yakima Basin, unfortunately, we're running a seasonal snowfall deficit as opposed to, well, we're just barely breaking even in the Natchez Basin, but definitely some better snowfall totals up in the Umatilla and Walla Walla basins.
All right, 6:40, check this out. Mickey and Donald say hello to Tucker.
This baby Maasai giraffe is the newest addition to Disney's Animal Kingdom. He's the third calf that a giraffe named Mara has had since coming to the park in 2015. And every birth is important because giraffe populations are declining.
Maasai giraffes are one of 4 different species of giraffes, and they are all considered vulnerable. Tucker's arrival adds to the genetic diversity and the health of the Maasai giraffe population.
So cute, and they look so big once they're born.
I know, because they're so tall.
They're dinosaurs.
I know, I think they're fantastic. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have your morning sprint and everything you need to know as you head out the door this morning. It is 6:41 and that live look outside from our Yakima Federal Cam at the Apple Valley Studios in Kennewick. We're back after the break.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demand to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
Hi, I'm Rowdy with Total Energy Management. For 40 years, we've been keeping the Tri-Cities comfortable with top-notch heating and air conditioning services. We take pride in delivering exceptional service and unbeatable deals. Right now, you can save big with up to $4,900 in rebates and tax credits on a new Carrier heating and cooling system. So turn to the experts at Total Energy Management to ensure your house is the perfect temperature year-round. Visit TEMINC.com or call 946-4500 to learn more.
McCurley Dealerships is celebrating 44 years with big giving and even bigger savings. Fill out an entry form at any McCurley dealership for a chance to win one of 2 $4,400 cash prizes. Plus, each winner gets an additional $4,400 to donate to one of 44 local nonprofit partners. No purchase necessary. And get a great deal on a new Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 for only $569 a month. Mercedes-Benz of Tri-Cities, celebrating 44 years of savings, giving back, and helping you find your way home.
Hey Ham Fam! Easter is April 20th, and when your family gathers this season, spend less time in the kitchen and more time with your loved ones. At Honey Baked Ham, we have everything your gathering needs, starting with our fully cooked spiral cut ham, dripping with our famous mouth-watering glaze. Add a smoked or oven-roasted turkey breast, delicious sides and desserts. Your complete feast is waiting for you at Honey Baked Ham. Order online or give us a call. Honey Baked Ham, helping you make the most of your time with family.
This year, Walker's Furniture is turning spring cleaning into spring savings with an indoor garage sale where you can save store-wide up to 70% off clearance items, and new markdowns are arriving daily as we clean out the warehouses with big savings on closeouts, ding and dents, and floor model furniture at garage sale prices. Plus, special financing is available, so you can save big now and pay over time. But you better hurry. These deals will go fast. This week at Walker's.
Dear unbreakable spirit,
When the terrain is gnarly, you steady us. When obstacles are ahead, you lift us. When the turf is hostile, you inspire us. Own a legend. Toyota Trucks. Toyota has the best resale value of all brands according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
You get in a car wreck and call the insurance company and get nowhere. Stop wasting your time. Just make one more call to 853-2222. They can't ignore my demand to pay you all the money you deserve.
Call 853-2222.
Kraken, Utah, tonight on Apple Valley News Now. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and put the rest of today into motion with Futurecast. And a little bit later this morning, we're expecting the arrival of another round of rain and snow up in the Cascades. By the late morning, this is going to start to spread down into the valleys. And then into the afternoon, we'll have widespread scattered showers and thunderstorms across the map. Now into the evening, where the showers and thunderstorms linger, it's going to be in the Blue Foothills and the Blue Mountains, also up in the Cascades. But deeper into the evening will mostly be dry. Just a little trickle left over for our mountain ranges, specifically in the Cascades, and then we'll almost entirely be dry into Wednesday and Thursday, minus a few very small shower chances. Here's some of the snowfall totals we're thinking over the next 24 hours. Not much doing at all for either mountain range, at least at pass level. And then in terms of melted snowfall and rainfall, if you tabulated those together, we're thinking half an inch during the same time frame up in the Cascades, less than 1/10 of an inch for the valleys, basin, and foothills, and around 1/4 of that in the Blue Mountains. Wind's going to be a big factor for today, gusting out of the south and west up around 45 miles per hour. The strongest wind gust being in the Blue Foothills of Morrow County and also up in the Cascades. That peak time frame would be from 2 p.m. today to 8 p.m. this evening. Like I mentioned, mostly dry for Wednesday and Thursday. Then there's another storm system we're tracking for Friday and Saturday. This one not looking that impressive at all, maybe a couple inches of additional snowfall for mountain passes in both the Blues and the Cascades. Then in terms of melted snowfall and rainfall, if you added those together, not much doing at all for most of our region, and then around 0.2 of that for Oregon 204 and for Interstate 84. So again, that storm system, not that impressive at all. High temperatures fluctuating over the next 7 days. The mountain, if you will, is going to be, or the peak, if you will, is going to be on Thursday, and the Tri-Cities will be in the low 70s, and then the valley would be Saturday, as we'll struggle to make it out of the 50s. Here's the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. We'll have showers and storms likely today, then dry after that with fluctuating high temperatures. Breezes pick up on Friday and Saturday. In Yakima, a 50-50 chance of showers and storms today, then a dry forecast with a breezy stretch from Thursday through Sunday. In Ellensburg, rain and thunderstorms likely today, dry beyond that with winds becoming a big factor on Friday and Saturday. And then for Hermiston, showers and storms likely today, a dry forecast after that with up and down high temperatures. And then in Walla Walla, rain and thunderstorms likely today, dry Wednesday and Thursday, but small shower chances come back around Friday through Sunday. Now let's head out to New York City to see what's ahead on Good Morning America.
In this morning's GMA First Look, facing justice.
Thomas Sotaki on behalf of Gerhard Koenig, who is appearing by video.
Dr. Gerhard Koenig appearing via video link from jail. The anesthesiologist accused of trying to murder his wife on a popular Hawaiian hiking trail in court facing a judge.
We will be entering a plea of not guilty.
Pleading not guilty to the attempted murder charge. His nuclear engineer wife, Ariel, saying that on a trip he planned for her birthday, Koenig tried to push her off a 1,200-foot cliff. In a petition she filed for a restraining order, she detailed how he grabbed me by my upper arms and started pushing me back towards the cliff edge. And coming up at 7 a.m., we'll have what comes next in this attempted murder in paradise case. With your GMA First Look, I'm Eva Pilgrim, ABC News, New York.
My moderate to severe Crohn's symptoms kept me out of the picture. Now I have Skyrizi.
I've got places to go and
picture. Feel significant symptom relief at 4 weeks with Skyrizi, including less abdominal pain and fewer bowel movements. Skyrizi helped visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. And with Skyrizi, many were in remission at 12 weeks, at 1 year, and even at 3 years. Don't use if allergic. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and TB. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's. Now's the time to take control of your Crohn's. Control is everything to me. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's disease.
Now, the morning sprint.
Time is now 6:49. It's time for your morning sprint. We're going to start off in your national headlines. The Supreme Court is allowing deportations to proceed under the Alien Enemies Act for now, but there are stipulations. The ruling throws out a U.S. District Judge's order. The High Court saying the men involved in the case can challenge the use of the Alien Enemies Act. They just have to do so in the district where they are detained. And this comes after ICE sent alleged Venezuelan gang members to an El Salvador prison while legal challenges were still playing out. The Department of Homeland Security is once again trying to entice employees to leave their jobs. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem sent an email to employees giving them the choice to accept a $25,000 buyout, voluntary early retirement, or deferred resignation. Employees have 1 week to accept.
In your business headlines this morning at 6:50, the CEO of Sprint Airlines is stepping down. Ted Christie's resignation comes after the Budget Airlines filed for bankruptcy late last year. The airline's board of directors is in the process of finding a replacement. In the meantime, the company says it is creating what it calls an office of the president. And President Trump's tariffs are making Apple reconsider how it does business. According to the Wall Street Journal, the company plans to send more iPhones to the U.S. from India, as this would help Apple avoid the higher tariffs of China. Right now, China has been hit with a 54% rate, while India's goods are lower at 26%. Apple will make about 25 million iPhones in India this year, and about 15 million would be for U.S. customers. But even if this change occurs, producing phones in India would only meet about 50% of the U.S. demand for the device this year.
In your health headlines this morning, U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary RFK Jr. was in Utah supporting the state's new law banning fluoride from public water. Kennedy said he's encouraging other states to follow Utah's lead. Utah is the first state to ban fluoridation of public water systems. And a recent study suggests that what you eat in midlife may affect how healthy you are when you're older. Researchers followed over 100,000 Americans between the ages of 39 and 69 for about 30 years. They found less than 10% had achieved healthy aging, which means that by age 70, they were free of major chronic diseases and their cognitive, physical, and mental health was maintained. They say that specific group ate diets that were high in fruits, vegetables, whole grains, unsaturated fats, and nuts. The study authors also say eating more ultra-processed foods was associated with lower chances of healthy aging.
In your sports headlines this morning, tennis legend Billie Jean King just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Just on Monday, King became the first woman to be honored with a star in the sports entertainment category. King is known for her historic tennis career that spanned from turning pro in 1968 to her retirement in 1990. And tonight, the Kraken take on Salt Lake City for a final meeting this season with Utah Hockey Club. Pregame starts at 5:30 right here on Apple Valley News Now. And because of this live event, ABC's Will Trent, usually seen at 8 p.m. on Tuesdays, will be seen this week on Saturday afternoon at 4 right here on Apple Valley News Now. 6:53 now. The top 5 local things you need to know this morning. The community came together to mourn the loss of Hosier Sanchez, the motorcyclist killed after a crash involving Washington State Patrol Trooper Sarah Clayson. A memorial ride was held and it brought out a large crowd. They all started at the New Vintage Church Tri-Cities and made several stops throughout the area, eventually making a stop at the scene of the crash in Richland. Organizers planted a cross in his memory and flowers were planted by his family. They're still in the process of making funeral arrangements, and when those details are released, we'll of course share them with you.
And Japanese beetle treatments on public properties like parks start this week in South Central Washington. Now, there have been recent detections in Pasco, Sunnyside, and Wapato, and residential treatments will start next week. Officials say it's not too late to sign up for free treatments, and you can do so on the Washington Department of Agriculture's website.
And 2 residential care facilities in Washington are at risk of closing if House Bill 1472 passes. One of those centers is the Yakima Valley School in Selah, and the other is the Rainier School in Buckley. These facilities serve people with developmental disabilities. HB 1472 is scheduled in the House Committee of Appropriations today at 1:30.
And a small plane skidded off the runway and landed in the water at the Southwest Regional Airport in North Bend yesterday. Officials say it was a private plane and came to rest in the water about 100 feet off the east end of that runway. Emergency crews, including the rescue and firefighter teams, secured the aircraft. All 4 passengers and 1 crew member were rescued and taken to the hospital.
And Prosper Memorial Health now has the Da Vinci 5 robotic surgical system, becoming the first healthcare facility in central and eastern Washington to have it. It's said to be the most advanced robotic technology available in modern healthcare and will enhance precision, control, flexibility for minimally invasive procedures. Officials say the system will be utilized in a lot of specialties like general surgery, gynecology, urology, and others. All right, 6:55 and trending this morning, an ancient animal's DNA has helped it return from extinction.
So take a look at your screen. These 3 young dire wolves were born in October and are being raised at an unknown nature preserve. They're named Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi. I'm assuming that's from Game of Thrones.
I would think so.
And according to Colossal Biosciences, the company, the pups carrying the traits of the long-lost giant dogs, and that's what they're supposed to
Wild.
Yeah, crazy.
They're cute. At least little puppies are cute, but I'm sure they could really mess you up once they grow up. Well, the company behind the de-extinction project said it used gene editing to modify the traits of existing animals. The team took DNA from a 13,000-year-old tooth and a 72,000-year-old skull to create healthy dire wolf puppies.
Oh, wow. So you may recognize the dire wolf. It is one of the legendary creatures on the HBO's series Game of Thrones. The animal had previously been extinct for more than 12,000 years.
That is so cool.
That is just wild.
And they're only a little bit older than that turtle we were talking about.
Just a little bit.
And they all get a little direwolf puppy in the Game of Thrones series. So, I mean, I want one now. I mean, they're making them, right?
Do you?
Yeah, I do want one. You know, I could train it to attack. When, you know,
I don't even think you need to train it to attack.
Yeah, it'll just do that.
All right, let's get him out the door with some weather, Josh.
Yes, it is. Well, it's definitely going to be a lot more active on First Alert radar a little bit later today. Right now, we're just seeing some light snow showers up in the Cascades, but you can see some of that building off towards the west. Winds gusting out of the south and west right now between 20 to 30 miles per hour for US 12 and for US 97. That's also going to become much more widespread a little bit later today. Right now, temperatures in the 20s and 30s in the Cascades and in the Blues. We're around freezing in the Kittitas Valley. Maybe you might have to break out an ice scraper there, but just a little bit too warm for that in the Yakima Valley, in the lower Columbia Basin, and in the Blue Foothills. So a little bit later today, highs for lower elevations getting up into the 50s and 60s. Seasonal stuff, showers and thunderstorms likely across the map, but we're going to be much drier starting on Wednesday and beyond, and high temperatures mostly seasonal, kind of teeter-tottering between mild and warm.
I'm ready for that more spring-like weather.
I want
for this
more
rain
warm
already.
as opposed to
Yeah,
mild.
that too.
Yes, I'll take it.
And thank you guys for watching Good Morning Northwest. You can always find updates on our website. That's applevalleynewsnow.com.
Good Morning America is up next, and we'll of course be back tonight with your local news and the Kraken as well.
Have a great day.